this program, we're going to highlight some of the classic comedy teams. Now, what makes a comedy team classic? I think it's their enduring nature. Whether early film pioneers or products of the electronic age, these special teams have a universal appeal, and they continue to endure, spanning generations. Children today are laughing at the very same teams their parents and even great-grandparents laughed at. The inspired antics of Laurel and Hardy, the Marx Brothers, Abbott and Costello, the Three Stooges, Martin and Lewis, and the others we're going to highlight are still very much with us. Television has kept them alive, and their comic genius has kept us all laughing. From the very first days, when an audience sat in a darkened movie theater, watching flickering images pass before them on the screen, there have been great comedy teams.
Hello, Ruby. This here's Abel.
The boy with the egg-shaped head.
The boy with the egg-shaped head. Wait a minute. Where's the handler? Hello, honey. Andy just told me about the dance tonight. Oh, I ain't gonna dance with nobody but you. Oh, I like to dance.
With a gal with big feet.
With a gal with big feet. Wait a minute, honey. Andy, please let me alone with you. Excuse me, honey. Andy got me messed up that time. Well, listen.
Will you shut up?
Will you shut up? Hold the phone just a second, honey. Andy, please let me alone with you. You're getting me all mixed up.
7 million. 8 million. 10 million.
Hello, honey. Hello. Excuse me. Andy got me messed up that time. Well, listen.
You big fat head.
You big fat head.
Most of us came to know them from their movies, although many got their start in places like Atlantic City, New York, and Chicago, working vaudeville, burlesque, and nightclubs, performing 7 days a week, sometimes 4 shows a day. The hard work paid off, and when they finally hit the screen, we were treated to talent like this.
You're trying to take her away from me. You low-down so-and-so and this and that.
Sir, I reckon you all are not aware, sir, that you cannot speak that way to an old Southern gentleman.
Southern gentleman?
From South Brooklyn.
How come you're a Southern gentleman?
My grandfather, Miss Nanny, my grandfather was an old Southern planter.
A Southern planter?
Yes. He was an undertaker in Alabama. On your toes, Blodgett. Up!
Hello.
They can't miss. They're sure fire.
You may fire when ready, Gridley. So you can't take it, eh?
Who said so?
Pardon me, Mr. Napoleon. I thought you were a picture. Back.
I'll never agree. It would be a blot on my name.
Blot on his name. We'll soon fix that. Blot on his name, Blodgett.
Hey!
Efficiency is everything, you know that? File for future reference. Here.
Oh,
Now look here, where were you last night?
me? Why,
Answer yes or no.
I was
What were you doing there?
Doing where?
Well, how do we know? Besides, I don't like your looks.
Did you ever take a good look at yourself?
Yeah, did you ever take a look? Here, now wait a minute, you. Where were you last night?
I spent the night with Shakespeare.
Yeah? Where is he?
He's dead.
Dead? A murder mystery. Have you any idea who did it?
Look, Shakespeare's been dead hundreds of years.
Hundreds. This is a fine time to call us in on the case.
I tell you, Bergen, it is just ridiculous.
You being in this youthful show.
Oh, come now, Charlie. I'm not so old. I'll tell you now, let's be honest, Charlie. On my last birthday cake, there were 45 candles. Isn't that right?
Well, they were on the piece I had, yeah.
Oh, there are many good years in me yet, Charlie.
Well, I hope you find out what they're good for.
Well,
So you're a lawyer, huh?
I am.
You'll excuse us for not knowing it. Sure. But you're the first lawyer we ever saw that had his hands in his own pocket.
You boys married?
No. This is the worst thing that ever happened to us.
Well, tell me just what happened.
Well, first of all, we were arrested on the mistaken charge of kidnapping.
And then a couple of officers takes us down to this cell and starts to get rough with us.
He didn't do you any bodily harm, did they?
Did they? One of them comes up behind me and kicks me over the ear and sends me spinning around the chair like that.
He didn't do that, did he?
Yeah, sure. Then the officer that has me jabs Charlie in the ribs with a gun just like that.
And then he stuck me on the jaw like that.
Yes, and then the officer comes up to me, and he hits me so hard with his fist that he knocks me right back onto the bed.
I ask you, do you call that justice?
Don't pal me. I heard about the new comedy team. Danny Thomas and Benedict Arnold. You gotta save us. You're still my partner, and you're the greatest talent in the world. I'll never try to get rid of you again. So help me. I wish I could see if your fingers were crossed.
By 1922, film producer Hal Roach's studio was in full blast, turning out comedy hit after hit. Our Gang was born at the Roach Studios in 1922. Its basic premise was simple. Unlike their counterparts, the rich kids, who could buy their fun, these poor children had to amuse themselves through their own imagination and ingenuity. And so the classic battle of the haves and the have-nots was resumed, but on a junior scale. It must have struck the right chord because Our Gang was an instant hit, and for over 20 years, millions shared in the adventures of Our Gang in 221 films. The Roach Studio discontinued production in 1938, and MGM produced the final 52 pictures. During the 1950s, television rediscovered Our Gang, mostly through the airing of the more popular Hal Roach-produced series, which had been reissued under the name The Little Rascals.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, Hal Roach presents for your entertainment and approval his Rascals in their latest Our Gang comedy. Hey, what's become of my blackberry pie? Yeah, my pie's gone too. Yeah, I had a piece of blueberry pie in here. Maybe the mice ate it. Maybe the mice ate it. I'm sure the mouse ate it.
During the years that Our Gang was in production, different cast members were introduced. As members grew too old, new children were brought in to replace them. Here are some of the original Our Gang group in this early silent short. Appearing are Sunshine Sammy Morrison, Alan Farina Hoskins, and Joe Cobb, among others. Later, Jackie Cooper joined the group. So did the gang's favorite schoolteacher, Miss Crabtree.
Why, Jackie, did you want to marry me? Maybe when I get big and grow whiskers. Why, you sweet darling. Shame, shame, shame. Shut up! Believe me, I'm never going to get mad. And I'm going to bring all my children up the same way. Hey, Bo, doesn't our sugar answers are correct?
Sure, I got him out of a book.
Well, give me one. Now, children,
We shall begin with an oral lesson in history. Donald Haynes. Where is Washington?
First in war, first in peace, and third in American league.
Douglas Greer. What was Abraham Lincoln's mother's name?
Mrs. Lincoln.
Are you children trying to be funny? Buddy O'Donnell. On Paul Revere's night ride, what did he say as he stopped his horse in front of the colonial home?
He said, whoa!
Somebody's in for a real trouncing. Jackie Cooper. Who was the hunchback of Notre Dame?
Lon Chaney.
What is this? Mary Ann Jackson. What famous words did Washington utter as he crossed the Delaware?
Boop, boop, ba-doop. Boop, boop, ba-doop.
I'm going to punish the next child severely that gives me a foolish answer. Farina. What was Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address?
1644 South Main Street.
Oh!
George Spanky McFarland joined our gang and quickly became a favorite, along with Carl Alfalfa Schweitzer, Darla Hood, and William Henry Thomas, known as Buckwheat.
Buckwheat and wearing diamonds. Oh, yes, indeed. He's rich, too, and makes hundreds of thousands of dollars. Wow, that's a lot of money. Yeah. Listen, fellas, for old time's sake, I'll give you one more chance. Now, how'd you like to work for me again? Okay. How about you, Alfalfa? Oh, come on, Alfalfa. Croon just one song, and you'll make hundreds and thousands of dollars. I will not croon. here dirtying this place up eating ice cream.
You sweet little dears.
Hey, the cops!
If our gang represents the child in all of us, then Laurel and Hardy are those children grown up, perhaps. And to many, they're the greatest of all comedy teams. They came from totally different backgrounds. Stan Laurel was born in England in 1890. Oliver Hardy in Georgia in 1892. Each made his own way to Hollywood, Stan arriving first. And once again, it was the Hal Roach Studios playing a pivotal role, because it was there in 1927 that the team of Laurel and Hardy was born. By a strange coincidence, however, Laurel and Hardy had first appeared together on the screen 10 years earlier, in 1917, in the film Lucky Dog, which starred Stan Laurel. Notice the actors robbing Laurel in this scene. It's none other than Oliver Hardy. Laurel and Hardy possessed the ability to make us laugh at our own humanity. They weren't just comic characters on the screen, but they seemed real people, and we see much of ourselves in them. Stan is the eternal innocent, content with his world, but Ollie strives for something better. His ego won't allow him to accept his lot in life gracefully. He's always looking for the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, and he usually convinces Stan that he should help him on his quest. But beating the system isn't easy, and the boys generally come up short. Ollie's fragile ego won't allow him to admit personal defeat, so he turns to Stan and, in desperation, utters the immortal phrase,
Well, here's another nice mess you've gotten me into.
Well, I couldn't help it, you know, and blaming me for everything. I didn't know what could
Oh, what's the matter? Did you swallow something?
I'm a sick man. An awful sick man.
Oh, sounds funny to me. You were all right a minute ago. You seem
I
like-
know I was. It hit me all of a sudden. Knocked me right into a heap.
Into a heap.
Yes?
All of a sudden?
Yes.
I'll get a doctor.
Yes. No, no. Oh, oh.
Taxi is ready.
Oh, well, will you get the bags that are in the other room,
Yes,
please?
ma'am.
Mine are in the hall.
You wouldn't mind staying and taking care of me, would you, Stanley?
Well, if it's all the same to you, I'd rather go.
Well, make up your mind. What do you want to do?
I just said I wasn't going.
Oh! 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 Oh!
Perhaps I better not go. You're worried.
Oh, I wouldn't think of you staying, dear. You
Well,
stay
that's
right
it.
here.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, darling. You have a good time.
Don't forget. You
Oh.
go.
Now,
You don't have a minute.
don't you worry about me at all.
Take care of
Everything will be
yourself.
perfectly all right. Bye.
What's the idea?
The gang is giving a stag party in our honor tonight.
What, at the club?
Yes,
For us?
certainly.
Well, you can't go.
Why?
You're sick. You're all in a heap.
That was only an excuse to get them out of the house.
Oh, why didn't you tell me?
Will you please hurry? We've got to get... just missed it. That train's done gone. That's the last train to Atlantic City tonight.
Oh. Well, I suppose we'll all have to leave together in the morning. Won't the boys be delighted? Delighted? I can see their faces now when we walk in. Well, what's the next? Come on, we'll go home. Back home again.
Now give me the foot and the boot. Put one hand here, one here, and pull. What happened? What could be worse? See who that is.
Oh! Wait!
What'll I do? Be big. Oh! Oh!
Oliver! Dad! We know you're here. Come here this minute.
Ollie's asleep.
But I'll wake him up. Look out. Come on, let's shoot.
In the 1930s, Laurel and Hardy made a triumphant tour of Stan's homeland, England. Huge crowds greeted them at every stop. Here's Stan visiting with relatives in his hometown. Here's a rare excerpt from the comedy short A Tree in a Test Tube, originally shot in color in 1943 for the United States government.
Hey, you mugs. Gentlemen. Well, well, it's Laurel and Hardy, as if I didn't know. Hello, boys. This is Pete Smith, as if you didn't know. Say, I'd like your help here for a minute. Do you mind? No, of course not. I just want you lads to show the audience how much wood the average person totes. Wood. Got any? No, like most guys, you don't realize how many articles made of wood products you carry around. For instance, that newspaper. Yup, that newspaper is largely made of trees, wood pulp. Of course, most people know that, but many people don't know that a lot of other objects come from a wood base. Take Stan's glasses. The rims are plastic. About 60% of plastic is wood flour. Powdered wood, my friends. Got a fountain pen? Just as I thought, plastic barrels. Okay, gents. Anything else in your pockets? Be careful of fish hooks, Stan. A billfold. Imitation leather made with cellulose acetate, a wood product. Uh-oh, what's up? Why, Mr. Laurel. Oh, sure, your whites, of course. Anyway, they're rayon, another wood product. Well, what else, boys? A cigarette case? A plastic. Also a cigarette holder. More plastic. Any more wood, my lads? A new spring hat, eh? Ouch. You can go now. Goodbye, Stan. So long, Oliver. And thanks very much, guys. Darn nice of you to help. Hey! Oh, well, they need exercise anyway. Goodbye now.
Oliver, we met Stan just a short time ago, a couple of months ago, as a matter of fact, and we found out that you and he were back together again in some of those wonderful pictures.
Well, we've never been apart, Jay.
No, that's true, but you know, a great many of the people out there in the public have thought that you were apart.
Well, that's true, because they've gotten us mixed up with other teams, you you see. But Stan and I have been together for 23 years, and we're still friends. I think that's a record.
That is a record. Not only are you friends, but I noticed, for instance, whenever I spoke to Stan personally in the cabin before and after the interview I did with him, whenever he talks or refers to you, he doesn't call you Oliver or Hardy. That's right. You're Babe to him, and that, I think, typifies your relationship and friendship.
Well, it's a funny way that I got the name of Babe. That was years and years ago, and then I had my first shave. So the barber went in, and he charged a dime, and he put some powder. He says, "That's all right, baby. You'll clean." So that name is stuck ever since.
This picture that you're going to make in Paris is called Atoll K.
Atoll K.
And it sounds very atomic.
Well, we think it is anyway, but we're mistaken in the end, of course, as usual.
Oh, look. What is it?
Well, that's an emergency life raft for 4 people.
You can't get 4 people into this thing.
You don't understand. Inside there's a compressed air cylinder. When you release the valve, it fills up large enough to carry 4 people.
Well, what about me?
You don't have to be insulting.
However, before you got into the team of Laurel and Hardy, you were a director out in Hollywood.
No, I used to work with an old-time comedian and direct and worked with him, Larry Seaman. Remember?
Back in the era of slapstick.
That's right. And then I did some dramatic pictures. And then by accident, Stan and I were thrown together, and it evolved from that.
You find just as much interest today in the old-time slapstick material?
I think that there is more interest, but there's so little of it done.
That's true.
I think that people want to laugh now, but they don't have the things to laugh at.
That's very, very true.
And people nowadays, they want to be connected with the higher type of, we might say, drama. They don't want to be associated with comedy.
Yes, they like to see it.
It's because comedy is difficult to make, you see.
And difficult to do, too.
You said
Have it come off. You had some wonderful ones. I remember one especially, Flying Deuces.
Oh, yeah.
I laughed at that and laughed at it and laughed at it. Well, it really takes something to get my arm around you, but I want to say goodbye to this friend's Oliver.
You should have tried my waist. You couldn't have gotten around.
No, impossible.
Good morning.
I'll now assign you to your duties. Reveille at 5, you dress quickly, make up your bunks, and get ready for inspection. Inspection until 7. 10 minutes for breakfast. You drill until 1 and march until 4. What about lunch? You'll have that while marching. You have inspection until 6. 15 minutes for mess, kitchen duties until 10, inspection until 11, then taps. That is all.
We have to do all that. You won't have time to forget. Why don't you tell him?
How much do we get for all this work?
100 centimes a day.
Well, that's not bad.
How much is that in American money?
Oh, American money? Well, it's equivalent to about 3 cents a day. Of course, it varies with the rate of exchange.
Well, how much do we get for overtime?
There ain't gonna be any overtime. If you think that you're gonna get that much work out of me for 3 cents a day, brother, you are crazy.
Is that so?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that goes for me, too. Because we don't work for less than 25 cents a day. Do we, Ollie? I'm sure glad to get out of this joint.
Me too. Have you got everything?
Uh-huh.
Now we'll go over to that Commandant guy and tell him we're through, and at the same time, I'll give him a piece of my mind.
I don't blame you. 3 cents a day. Ha!
Here's another nice mess you've gotten me into.
Ollie, is that really you?
Of course it's me.
Gee, I'm glad to see you.
If the words zany, outrageous, and uninhibited had not been in the dictionary already, they would have to be invented to describe the Marx Brothers. In some ways, they're the founding fathers of modern zany comedy. They were among the first to combine the fine art of sight gags and classic vaudeville with a dose of satire. That was radical for its time. The result was a form of controlled chaos, and nothing was sacred when the wit and wackiness of the Marx Brothers was running loose.
Come in. Come in. My name is Sammy Brown, and I just came into town. Saw your ad. Your Mr. Lee say you can make a mint on me.
What do you do?
Dance, sing.
Play a role?
Anything. Say I'm a fine for guys like you, 'cause there's nothing I can't do.
Tell me, what did you work before?
In a department store.
Who told you you could dance and sing?
Hey, for money I'll do anything. Why don't you try me? You might as well.
You might be great.
Who can tell?
What do you call your specialty?
You mean my big sensation? I knock 'em cold when I pull off my Chevalier imitation. If a nightingale could sing like you, they sing much better than they do. 'Cause you brought a new kind of love to me. Well, what do you think?
When you go out, don't slam the door. It's a wonderful imitation you gave of Ethel Barrymore.
I'm glad you see me.
Step right in.
Are you Mr. Lee? My name is Sammy Brown.
Come in. Do you want to talk to me?
I want to talk to Mr. Lee.
I'm Mr. Lee.
That's him. I see you want a very good act.
Yes.
Well, I'm the guy you want to guess, and I'll speak very good English, but I'm full of the pep and I got the ambition.
What do you do?
Acrobats.
What's your name?
Amalia. But the best thing I do is give him a taste of Chevalier. When the nightingale may look like you.
That's enough.
When you go out, don't slam the door. Well, what do you think?
I need a drink.
All right, I take it a drink.
You take the air.
Take the air, he cries. No like it, the air. It's too cold outside.
Will you please keep quiet?
I no say of the word.
Not an am, the butler, or nip. Not a word from you till you're spoken to.
All right, you great big stiff. I want to speak to Mr. Lee. I'm a dramatic actor.
So I see I'm Mr. Lee.
Well, lend an ear to me.
Can you play a role?
Can I play a role? Do you know who you're looking at?
No.
Caesar's ghost. I play any kind of a role.
You will?
Now eat it up like that. I played a part in Ben Hur once.
What part did you play, sir?
A girl. She played the part of Ben.
And you?
I played her. When you go out, take a slam at the door. You're kidding me, aren't you not?
Kidding, you say. I've been here all day. Now show me what you've got.
I wanted to play a dramatic part, the kind that touches a woman's heart, to make her cry, for me to die. Did you ever get hit with a coconut pie? There's my argument. Restrict immigration. I think I'll recite.
Let it go, all right.
I'll give you a recitation. Or would you prefer to see me give my Chevalier imitation? When the nightingale could sing like you, they sing much sweeter than they do, 'cause you brought a new kind of love to me. Well, what do you think?
Get me a brick.
Here's a brick. I always carry one for this imitation.
Hey, I'll lay this on your head.
You can't do that. You don't belong to the Bricklayers Union.
What do you think you are?
Hey, wait a minute. You know who this is?
No.
He sells frankfurters at the Merchant of Venus.
Well, what do you want? My name is What Do You Care? My home is anywhere. People say I'm awful dumb, so I thought to you I'd come. Say, listen, what is the dog?
Now, just a moment. Wait a minute. He might be crazy. Wait, I'll find out. You want to go on the stage? Crazy.
Say, listen, you tell me what you want or I'll throw you. Never mind that. I'll give you a punch.
Now, wait. Take your time. This fellow's a good dancer. Dance for him.
Say, thank heaven there's no Chevalier imitation.
Well, what do you think of him,
I
Mr. Lee?
wouldn't give him $1 a week.
Not so loud, he'll take it.
Yep.
Now, listen, you're making a big mistake.
I
These
know.
fellas are very clever. They're funny fellas. And I've got a play that I've written that I'd like to explain to you. I'd like to read this manuscript for you. It's a wonderful play, and these fellas would fit in it. Now, if you please come over and sit down with me for a minute, I'll explain the whole thing to you. Now, will you just sit down to do that? Now, here's the idea of this thing is. This is not monkey business, or is it pineapples? But I want to explain it. I want to explain the whole thing to you. Now, the first scene takes place in this beautiful home. This is really a magnificent home. A mansion. What I say a mansion, I mean a mansion. I saw the fellow like that. The girl lying in the chair. I can't hear a thing. For a lover who's home from the army. Now, mind you, she's been going for many years. She's been going for many years. Without holding my back, she's been. But when the fellow fights back, he's like the German army. Well, there's your right in there. Now, when he goes to the other army, the other thing is the American army, and they have a war. Now they have a regular war. And he goes out and
listen to what I've got to say. So he could deal with my...
Groucho, Chico, Harpo, and Zeppo, who later left the act, were in real life brothers, and they perfected their craft on the stage, performing in vaudeville and later on Broadway. In 1929, they filmed their hit stage show, The Coconuts, for Paramount, and the movies would never be the same.
Yes, with your back to me. When I invite a woman to dinner, I expect her to look at my face. That's the price she has to pay. Your tip, sir. $9.40. This is an outrage. If I were you, I wouldn't pay it. Stewart? Ah, come right ahead. Hey, do it. The food. Been waiting all that? Food. No, come on. Outshoot two-gun quail. Boys, sweep him out of the gunner. It's just like a movie. Room service. We could drop him in the alley.
Oh, no! Let's take him down the service elevator.
I won't have him insulted. He'll go with the regular passengers.
Well, someone might see us. Oh. Come on.
Slammed the door in my face.
I realize that you're the man I've been dreaming of.
What do you eat before you go to bed?
Hardly, madam. But here are the seating arrangements for your final approval.
Oh, no, Whitcomb. Just Tenor will sit on my left hand. And you will sit on my right hand.
How will you eat? Through a tube?
Actually, their film career was brief. They did only 13 features as a group. Even Hollywood, it appears, had trouble handling the Marx Brothers' free-for-all style. Slowly, the controlled chaos was worn away and replaced sometimes with weaker scripts and suffocating subplots. But future entertainers saw the genius of the Marx Brothers and borrowed from them heavy doses of their humor and uninhibited style.
I have a most important announcement to make. Most important. The Marx Brothers are retiring from the silver screen.
That's right, folks. We're on our way. That's all right, folks. Well, where do we go from here? And so, to all of you, a fond
trivial as a floor walker.
Well, Martha, we have enough floor walkers. However, if you desire, what experience have you had in a department store?
I was a shoplifter for 3 years. I used to do this in vaudeville.
Hey, look. It's only a woman.
That's the fine. Let there be wine. And women.
After the Marx Brothers stopped working as an act, the individual members continued to perform on their own. Most visible, of course, was Groucho, who turned his hit radio program, You Bet Your Life, into a bigger success on television. But each brother stayed true to the characters they'd perfected when working together as a team.
Look, Joe, you know that gypsy love song?
Well, I know the chorus.
Well, I played the voice. Maybe you could follow me, huh?
Well, suppose you play the verse while I noodle around.
You're going to noodle?
Uh-huh.
What do you mean by noodling? Oh, that's fine. You noodle there and I'll macaroni over here. That's a good. Now we try the chorus, but the chorus we play pianissimo. You know what pianissimo is, Joe?
Oh,
How long you study music?
oh, about 15 years.
You know, 2 more years you could have been a plumber? And they could use you around here, too. All right, never mind the pianissimo. I'm going to make it a very simple. We play it allegro pizzicato. That's a high-class Carnegie Hall. You know allegro pizzicato?
No, I don't.
You know Jimmy Pizzicato? Maybe you know Itsy Bitsy Pizzicato. None of the pizzicatos. All right, Joe, what do you know?
I know Pizzaiolo Napolitan.
We'll play it.
And here he is, the one, the only.
Never heard of him.
Oh, that's me.
I have a pair of Rhodesian Ridgebacks.
Well, if you keep your mouth shut, nobody will notice it. Guess what is a Rhodesian Ridgeback?
It's a lion dog.
A what?
A lion dog.
Well, I'm a lion dog myself.
Friends, go in and see your DeSoto Plymouth dealer tomorrow. And when you do, tell him Groucho sent you.
For 36 years, the team of Burns and Allen delighted audiences, whether in vaudeville or movies, radio or television. Their act moved gracefully through every phase of show business. George Burns and Gracie Allen were separately active in vaudeville when a mutual friend introduced them to each other, and the timing was just right. George was losing his current partner, Billy Lorraine, and it was suggested that Burns and Allen try working together.
This is Gracie Allen, and
Oh, Martin Downey.
No, Rudy Valley. Gracie, that's Bing Crosby.
Oh, well, now, if you're going to change your name, nobody will know you.
Glad to see you.
Thank you.
Having a nice time in California.
Oh, yes.
Getting around a lot, lots of spots?
Oh, no, I'm not getting around very much.
That's so. Well, I was wondering, you ever wonder?
Well, sure, I wandered through the fields picking poppies a lot of times.
No, I mean, I was wondering if you'd like to go out with me. Well, why should you be an exception? Gracie, I was wondering if...
The basic premise of their act was simple. Gracie was a total scatterbrain who would make the most outlandish statements, but in her own mind they made perfect sense. George was the ever-frustrated boss or husband, trying to make sense of it all. They appeared in their first film in 1929 and were active in pictures through 1944, making shorts and features. Meanwhile, their radio career was very successful, and later they made the transition to television.
Well, I did the best I could, Bing. Auf Wiedersehen. Oui, oui.
George's custom of stepping outside the plot in the television series was quite unique. He would watch a scene played by Gracie and the other characters, make a comment to the audience, and then step back into the scene.
Thank you very much. You know, it's a real thrill to do these shows from New York. This is my home. I was born here. Of course, Gracie was born in San Francisco, and it was really vaudeville that got us together. I'll never forget, I was playing the Gem Theater in San Francisco, and my name then was Smiling Frankie Davis. In smart songs and syncopated pattern. My opening number was, "The birds are sweetly singing and perfumed flowers are bringing in the wind is worn as it's passing by." So here goes. Music, curtain, and plot.
Hello, may I speak to Bill Goodwin, please? Oh, Bill, this is Gracie. Oh, I'm in such trouble, Bill. Look, I came home from the beauty shop. I drove home, and I noticed a dent in the fender. And if George sees it, he'll never let me drive the car again. Well, I want you to come over and borrow the car from George and have it fixed before he finds out about it. Yes. Oh, well, bring Miss Jones along with you. Oh, thank you, Bill. Goodbye.
Yeah, that's it. That's the plot. What'd you expect, Shakespeare? I'll tell you something about plot, but don't tell this to Ed Sullivan or Eddie Cantor. It's cheaper than guest stars. And another thing about plot, you don't have to worry about billing. Oh, here I go again, pardon me. Yes, Gracie?
George, what would you like for dinner? There's some wonderful recipes in this Carnation cookbook.
Well, anything you fix will be delicious. You know, Gracie, I thought of something today that you will never remember.
What?
I still owe you $3.
No, dear, it's $8. I gave you 10 the day we were married.
But George always said, my job was easy. All I had to do was say, Gracie, how's your brother? Gracie retired from the act in 1958 and died in 1964. But George has remained active, starring in films, television, and nightclubs. Burns and Allen were not only a comedy team, but a beloved national treasure.
Gracie, come here a minute.
What?
What's so funny?
Well, I just had a letter from my sister Bessie. She's got the greatest sense of humor of anybody in the whole world.
Well, what'd she say?
Well, she said, oh, here it is. It says, I heard the funniest story today I ever heard in my whole life, and I will tell it to you when I see you. Love, Bessie.
Well, if she didn't tell it to you, why are you laughing?
If Bessie says it's funny, it's funny. Okay. Good night, Aunt Gracie. Good night. Good night and pleasant dreams.
Yeah.
Oh, tell us a story, Aunt Gracie. Yes, well, story. Well, all right. I know a lot of stories that I used to know when I was a little girl. Now, which one do you want to hear? Dickens' Christmas Carol. Yeah. Oh, yes. Isn't that the one that starts in Once Upon a Time and it ends with, and they lived happily ever after?
Yeah, I think that's the one, yes.
Yeah. Now, if I could just remember that part in between.
Gracie, it's about Scrooge and Bob Cratchit and his little son, Tiny Tim.
Oh, yes. Now it comes back
That's
to
the
me.
one.
Yes, come around here and I'll tell it to you. Okay. Now, sit right down there. Once upon a time, on a beautiful Christmas morning, Scrooge and Bob Cratchit and Tiny Tim went for a walk in the woods while their breakfast was cooling. So, while they were gone, a dear little girl came and knocked on the door. And naturally, nobody answered, so she went inside to see who it was.
Gracie, that's not the way I heard it.
Who told it to you?
My mother.
Oh. Well, this is by Dickens.
You see, this is a different story.
Oh, come on,
All right, she'll finish.
All right. So this little girl saw the breakfast cooling, and she decided to taste it. So she tried the first bowl, and it was too hot, and she tried the second bowl, and it was too cold, and she tried the third bowl, and it was just right, and she ate it all up.
That was Goldilocks.
No, it was porridge.
Oh, yeah, same porridge. A tall feller. I played in vaudeville with him.
Well, anyway, this poor little girl had two rich stepsisters. And then along came Prince Charming with a glass slipper. So he tried it on the first stepsister, and it was too hot. And he tried it on the second stepsister, and it was too cold. And he tried it on the poor little girl, and it just fit. And she married him, and guess who got all the money?
Walt Disney.
Where Burns and Allen had built their entire career on their own personalities and real-life situations, our next team was completely the opposite.
You was called to be a witness, wasn't you?
Certainly.
So was you. What are you butting in for? You're supposed to be a good one, ain't you?
Well, ain't I?
Now, what are you disturbing the court for? Get going.
The Three Stooges come from one of comedy's oldest and noblest traditions, that of the clown. Roughhouse slapstick humor was their stock in trade, and they plied their trade for an unbelievable 50 years. The team began when brothers Moe and Shemp Howard joined veteran comic Ted Healy's act as sidemen. Later, Larry Fine entered, working with Moe and Shemp, and the Three Stooges were born. Shemp decided to leave the group and pursue a solo career, at which point the younger Howard brother, Curly, took Shemp's place. In the 30s, then working with Healy, the group traveled to Hollywood, where they appeared in several shorts.
How do you like the beer?
Oh, well, I've been cockeyed since I've been drinking it.
I get it.
Yeah.
Say, Ben, it's just you and I, so I'll buy a drink. Just nobody's at the bar, so you...
Nobody, it's you and I.
How are you, boy?
Okay, I'll take scotch and soda.
You will, eh? None of that nonsense.
Oh, listen, I beg your pardon.
Because-
Please, I beg you. Is your name Ted Heel?
No, Ted Healy the name is, not Heel.
Oh, listen, did you originate stogies?
What?
Are you the first one that ever had stogies?
Say, pardon me, I want you to be a nice boy. When you're a nice boy, your fairy godmother always watches over you.
You what?
Your fairy godmother always watches over you.
I got an uncle I'm not sure of.
None of that. Now, go ahead. Let me hear more about that.
But
Now, go
I
ahead.
want to know. You know, I know. Listen, but I know how you make people laugh.
You do, huh?
Yes, I certainly.
How? Uh-huh. No, you're wrong, lady. She's wrong, isn't she?
Yeah, this is the way.
Take your time.
He's
kid.
wrong. This is the
relax
way.
yourself. Do that again. Do that again.
It's hook, it's hook.
He's wrong. Now, this is the way, isn't it? Okay.
The Stooges decided to go out on their own and quickly established themselves as one of the most popular comic acts in the business, turning out film after film. Curly would go on to become the most beloved of the Stooges. His natural humor and childlike quality has endeared him to millions.
Stop chewing that gum.
Certainly.
Will you throw that gum away?
Look, I got rid of it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the action of this pistol is so hard, it would take the strength of a mule to pull the trigger. Try it.
I'm no mule.
No, your ears are too short.
So I'm a mule.
Take off your hat. Now raise your right hand. Now place your left hand here.
Take off your hat.
Raise your right hand. Now put your left hand here.
Please take off your hat.
Raise your right hand. Now put your left hand here.
Will you please take off your hat?
Raise your right hand. Now put your left hand here.
Take off your hat.
Raise your right hand. Will you get rid of that hat?
Raise your right hand.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Huh?
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Are you trying to give me the double talk?
Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Why don't you answer him?
He's talking pig Latin. I don't know what he's saying.
He's asking you if you swear.
No, but I know all the words.
How about that service?
In 1947, Curly had to leave the act due to illness, and older brother Shemp returned.
Boy, if I hadn't ducked, we'd have collided sure. What a narrow escape.
Hey.
What?
What's the matter with you?
Hold this. Just a minute, I'll take it right off. I would leave it on. People don't know if you're coming or going with this on. There you are, sir. You look very pretty, and the spaghetti's as good as new. Why, you...
No! Well, dog of dogs, how dare you?
1,000 pardons, it was unavoidable. Wait a minute. This would degrade you.
Tis true. I'm an aristocrat. I am Hassan bin Soba.
I had a few too many myself. Quiet.
Then, in 1955, after Shemp's death, veteran comic actor Joe Besser replaced him as the third stooge. Here's a rare clip featuring Shemp Howard and Joe Besser playing opposite Lou Costello.
Not me, him. I'll go get help. Oh, you're such a nuisance.
And Besser was later replaced by Joe DeRita, who became known as Curly Joe.
Oh,
Oh, how do you do, ma'am? We're the Live Wire Electric Company at your service.
well, I didn't expect 3 of you. It's just a tiny little buzzer that doesn't work. It's very simple.
Oh, that makes us even. So are we. You've heard the old saying, many hands make light work. So you just buzz off and we'll have your buzzer buzzing in a jiffy.
And a quick jiffy, too.
Well, all right. I'll be in my office. You call me if you need me.
Yes, ma'am. Let's go.
Pardon me, miss. Please. We have work to do. There you are.
See here.
This,
Wire goes right through the wall here. I'll take it on the other side. Pardon me.
Wait a minute. Please go on. I've got work to do.
What's going on out there? Oh!
That you on the other side, Curly Joe?
Yeah, I'm over here, Mo.
Okay, I think I found a wire.
Operator! Operator!
Hey, Mo. I think I got it.
What is that?
Larry, give me a hand here, will you?
Okay.
Get up. Now, wait. Now, give me a... Good.
You'll have to admit, that's using your head.
Through their countless film appearances, and later on television, the Three Stooges have left no vase unbroken, no eye unpoked, and no one's dignity intact. Whether they were playing plumbers, bakers, street vendors, or just themselves, the laws of nature seemed to be reversed when they were around. Chaos is common, tranquility rare. But what was not rare was the laughter, which rings out to this day from theaters and living rooms anytime we see those clown princes of comedy, the Three Stooges.
This is our vice president in charge of soap operas.
Oh, the vice president in charge of soap operas. How do you do?
This is our vice president in charge of cutting costs. Why, certainly I'll cut the cost right away. There it is, right there. Give me that. All right. Unbutton your coat, stupid. All right. Gentlemen, the vicissitudes of one's circumstances in these surroundings makes it nigh impossible to state one's feelings, which entitles you to additional chastisement. Prepare for the double zinger.
No, not the double zinger, no.
Eh?
Thank you, then.
Put your fingers out like that. Now hold your arms out that way. On your mark. Get set. Go!
Oh!
Will you give me 5 for this?
No, but I'll give you 2.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Aren't we the saps? We had a fortune in our hand and let it slide through. I'm going to search all the clothes.
Me too. 100.
So you did. Why?
Leave him alone. Hiya, fellas. My wife is just crazy about the way you fixed this coat. She wants you to make me a pair of pants to match.
You see anything?
Yeah, wires.
Listen, you. What? You know, I think the piano's out of tune. Go on.
I think I see it.
Look out. Get up out of there.
Get me out of here. My face. Oh, you want to spoil my looks?
Impossible. Never mind your face and get that ring. It's 6:15.
Oh, I'm awful sorry.
So am I. Wait a minute. You wouldn't hit a lady with that. Use this. It's bigger. Oh, thanks.
Is everybody done? Say, Judgy, if you let me, my partner, and Gailey kind of act it out for you, we'll show you just what happened.
If counsel doesn't object, that's an excellent idea. No objections. No objections.
No objections.
Please omit the rest of the entertainment and continue.
He grabs Kirk by the neck like that, see? And drags him over to the letterpress. See? Then he smacks him on the head like that. Then he pokes his coconut into the letterpress, see? Like that. Then he says, I'll squeeze the cider out of your Adam's apple. Then he gives him the works like this. Then he keeps turning and twisting. That, ladies and gentlemen, is... I object, Your Honor. These proceedings, this courtroom... Grab your ear. Come on.
It would be easy to think that the East Side Kids were an extension of our gang. After all, two members of the East Side Kids, Sunshine Sammy Morrison and Donald Haynes, were first seen in our gang. But the styles are totally different. In 1937, the young actors playing the street gang in the serious Broadway drama Dead End were brought to Hollywood by Sam Goldwyn to appear in the film version, playing opposite Humphrey Bogart. Dead End was a stark, tough film about life and crime in the slums of New York. The young actors made such an impression that they became sort of the Hollywood resident street gang, originally known as the Dead End Kids. They began appearing in similar films, such as Angels with Dirty Faces, Crime School, and They Made Me a Criminal.
Look over there, will you? Lamp that jalopy, will you? What's in the jalopy? Wait a minute,
What is
guys. Wait a minute. I got an idea. Come on. Let's go.
Isn't it for you? Hey, what is that?
It's alive.
I don't know,
What's
maybe
your
from
name?
a cat.
J.
Douglas Williamson.
J. Douglas Williamson.
And what's your name?
J. Montmorency Spitz, Jr. Here, where'd you get that out of, kid? Tell me something. What are you doing here?
We just stopped to have a flat fixed. We shall be off as soon as Dad and Major return from the telegraph office.
Oh, it ain't gonna stay. He's breaking my heart.
Hey, what's a mater?
Oh, Maynard, that's his old lady, you dope. Don't you read any books?
Nope.
You think you're smart, don't you?
We're not amused.
Hey, you're up in New York, ain't you?
Yeah, I've been there.
Boy, do I miss that East Rip.
Yeah, that reform school you was going to. I guess you missed that too, huh?
Reform school ain't so bad. Me brother's been up there twice. He don't get out till he's 21.
Yeah, he got a lease on a joint.
Just what is the setup here?
Oh, we got too hot in New York, so they sent us out here to reform us. Jack ain't afraid of nobody, see?
Oh, no, Jack ain't afraid. Not much he ain't.
Stand up!
Their original leader, Billy Hallop, along with other members, soon left. Although other actors, like Gabe Dell, kept reappearing from time to time in different films and in different roles.
Hiya, fellas. What are you doing? Giving the old gang the ice? You haven't been around in a long time.
Yeah, how come the glad rags? Can a guy dress up once in a while?
Slowly, the individual personalities of the East Side Kids began to emerge, especially the comic talents of the new leader, played by Leo Gorsey, and his favorite comic foil, Hans Hall.
All in favor, say yes.
Yeah. No.
Hey, Clippy, lend me a cap a minute. Freddy, you were radical.
Okay, yes. You're disqualified.
By the time it was all over, the East Side Kids had gone through several different studios, along with name changes, such as the Little Tough Guys, the Bowery Boys, and in the process racked up nearly 100 films, making them one of Hollywood's most durable comedy troupes.
My mother needs a big family. 7 kids. And one of them's got to be a girl.
What?
What's more, she needs them by tomorrow.
Hey, that's awful short notice.
We ain't waiting for the stork to bring these kids. It's an urgent case.
Now, wait a minute. This is not only embarrassing, but it's very humiliating. We're not going to get away with it.
Shut up or I'll smear your lipstick, beast. Jack Benny got away with it in Charlie's aunt, didn't he?
Yeah, but this is a different
Well,
story.
this is Muggsy's uncle. Hey, not bad. Muggsy's uncle, Charlie's aunt. Pretty good, huh? No? McGinnis family, I want you to meet your Uncle Pete from Texas. Say hello, fellas.
Hi, Uncle.
Hiya, fellas.
Hello, Uncle Pete. Hi, y'all.
Oh, well, he ain't really one of the family. We found him on the doorstep, so we adopted him.
Well, thought he looked like a stray from some other herd. Well, fellas, Well. So this is little Annabelle, huh?
Yes, it's me, but not very little, though.
Why, gal, you're just a spitting image of your ma when she was your age.
Danny, you let me down the worst of all. Your moderato obligato was just a little bit staccato. What?
I said I'm awfully sorry, but I got a cold.
Quick, Ethan, boys, play it again. Play it again, I say. Come on, once more. Now, Schoono and Clippy, let's have your version of this number.
Drink to me only with thine eyes and I'll be in
See what I mean? You know what you were doing before?
Yeah?
You see what they're doing now?
Yeah.
Well, I want you to reach a happy medium. Now, hit that last note. What are you doing?
You told me to hit it. You go to jail, I'm a minor.
What do you want me to do? You hoodlums. Lose my license? No minors allowed.
What do you mean? That ain't coal dust. We ain't minors. No, we ain't old enough to be minors.
Now stay out before I throw you out. Oh, I forgot. I already threw you out.
We interrupt this program for an important announcement. All citizens are warned to be on the lookout for the monster killer who is believed to be in this vicinity. This maniac has left a trail of 3 inhuman murders and is believed heading upstate. We return you now to your program.
Monsters? They don't mean nothing to us. We eat them every morning for breakfast.
Bring those monsters on. I ain't scared of them. Hey, fellas, do something to scare me, will you? I get the heat cuts. Uh-oh. What do you mean, Doc? We're still friends, ain't we?
I don't know what you're shoving about. I ain't no hurry.
Well, it's a good thing you're not, because you're staying right here till you produce that money.
Hold my glass.
In that case, we better set up light housekeeping.
I bring my coat for.
I should have brought my pajamas and perfume. This place smells.
Boy, these mosquitoes don't bite you. They kick you. You got a flit gun you could loan us?
Maybe they just let the bugs run wild.
Where's a shower around here? You know, I always take a shower before I go to bed.
Yeah, well, be sure and have a good time, because you're not going to be laughing tomorrow.
I'm going to see that Danny and his sister file a robbery complaint against you bunch of half-baked delinquents.
So look here, Mr. Reed, and can't we adjudicate this matter?
You tell that to the judge.
By the way, what time do you serve breakfast? I got a delicate stomach.
Make it in 40 days, because I got to catch up on my beauty sleep.
Order.
Ham on rye.
Get them masks off. I thought I told you to take your mask off.
I did take a mask off. This is my real face.
That's Max. He's a mouthpiece. He's a shice. He's putting a fix in for us. Now, listen here, Max. I want you to get us out of this rap, see? Suit the works, but get us sprung, understand?
Yeah. Get us sprung. This joint's giving me headaches.
Now, get out. Hit the raw. Go on, breathe.
Scram.
They end up in the bug house of the big house, with even the prison psychiatrist beginning to feel the strain.
In and through and 1 and 2 and in and through and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. Yeah!
I said, get him away from that cell so
Jenkins, who are we flying today?
Okay, routine 9, Sat. Now.
Ain't fit weather outside for man or beast, but I'm flying. Kitty, old pal. Goodbye, old buddy. Contact.
This is a routine examination we give all the rookies.
Oh, say, Chief, what's a rookie?
Oh, I don't know. It's just a...
Rookie!
Come and get it. A lot of people get killed in the rush.
Come on, get out of here. Come on.
Timber! Nobody open any more doors.
Yes, Hunt ends up where no man even began before.
You're in the wrong barrack. This is the WAP unit. WAP!
Look.
When it comes to adding up a column of figures, Satch shows him how.
That's correct.
Of course it's correct.
How'd you get the answer so fast?
Boy, what a kiss. Hit me like a hammer. Well, I gotta go. Oh.
Well, do you see anything?
Nope.
No.
Who that?
Who that?
Who that say who that when I say who that?
Who said who that when I say who that?
What's the matter with you? That's just an echo.
It's an echo.
See that? What I tell you. There's nothing to be scared of.
That's what you think.
Well, boys, here we go again.
Now, wait for me.
Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends. Finish that. We got a little beautiful thing here.
I told you not to do it.
Don't do that.
Don't raise your hand to me.
Don't do that.
Don't raise your... Don't raise your hand to me. Don't raise your hand, Lou. Don't raise your hand.
What are you waiting for?
Flawless is a hard word to live up to. but it may be the best way to describe an Abbott and Costello routine. Their timing was so sharp that anytime you see them performing one of their classic burlesque sketches, it seems as if they're doing it for the first time. Fresh, spontaneous, and of course very funny.
They really put us in a beautiful theater for our first show on television.
That's what I was going to say, Lou.
This is one of those gorgeous theaters I've ever been in, Abbott.
One of the finest theaters.
Get that beautiful wall over there.
Marvelous.
Isn't that a nice wall?
It is really.
Do you know what that wall reminds me of?
What?
This one over here.
Stop. Wall's a wall. Take your fingers out of your mouth. You want to poison yourself?
No.
What makes you so dumb?
Just because of me natural.
That's what I thought. Didn't you ever go to school, stupid?
Yes, sir, and come out the same way.
Well, that I know.
America got to meet Abbott and Costello at their best. They'd been working together for about 10 years when, as guest stars, they scored big on the Kate Smith radio show. They stayed on as regulars, and from there it was on to Broadway, and in 1940, they made their first film, A Night in the Tropics. It was the first of 35 pictures they would do as a team.
Stanley, drop everything. Huh? Drop everything. Hey, come here. Come here, Stanley. Get out. Get out from under there. Hurry up. Come here. Come on, Stanley.
Oh, boss, just when I had the 10 off.
Never mind the 10. Come over here and draw that map.
The map?
The map.
If I draw, will you let me go home?
Why do you want to go home?
I forgot something.
What did you forget?
I forgot to state it.
Hey, draw the map. Come on. Boy, oh boy, can you picture me a tycoon? Oh, building yachts, railroads. I don't know. I might even buy an airline. According to how I feel. Boy, winters in Maine, summers in Florida. Oh, it's unbelievable.
Get him. He could even get his laundry out.
Have you got it ready yet? Come on. You got it? Attaboy. Oh, this paper here is worth $1 million.
$1 million? Well, I thought I did it. Give me something. I got to have something for it.
Oh, sure. I intended to. Here's a nickel.
Thank you.
Attaboy.
Oh, a nickel.
You bring me away out here in the heart of the jungle. Why? Because you told me that you could draw the map. You can't draw, can you? You know you couldn't. Why'd you bring me away out here? Now what am I going to do? What am I going to do with the boats I was going to buy, the buildings I was going to buy, the railroads I was going to buy? Put that down. That's a fine how do you do. Nice goings on from a pal, from a friend. I never expected it from you. I'll have to go into bankruptcy, that's all. That's all that's left for me to do. And what'll my friends say? To think that you, my bosom friend... Look, where are you going with the water?
Oh, my cat's on fire!
Well, what have you got to say for yourself?
Last night I saw something like I never saw before in my life. Not even in a nightmare I never saw anything like this. I want to tell you, he had a head like that.
Oh, good.
I'm not looking right at him like that. I said...
Eat your food, come on. No sugar. You're so nervous. Don't play with it, eat it. What's the matter with you? Huh? He must be tired.
Buzz.
What's the matter?
You see this thing over there?
Certainly not.
Then I got jungle fever.
I'd better get him back to our camp. I think you better, too. What are you doing?
Unlike other comedians, Abbott and Costello did not rely on character development or strong scripts. Rather, the plots were simply devices that would get the team from one stock routine to another. And many of their classic bits are based upon Bud trying to take advantage of the ever-trusting Lou. What follows, then, is classic burlesque.
We need more money. Wait a minute, I've got an idea, Lou. And you know, I always bring in the chips.
I know you bring in a
I'll
chip.
tell you what you do. You walk across the street, get hit by an automobile, we'll run the guy into court, charge him damages, and he'll want to settle. No one wants to go to court on Christmas, do they?
Just a minute. You want me to run in front of the street and buy a car and get hit with a car?
What do you
And then the guy's going to sue us?
No, we sue them.
Oh, then we sue the guy?
Sure.
And then we don't want... And because on a guy, he don't want to go Christmas time? Why should I get hit with a car? You get hit with a car!
Always think of yourself, don't you?
I mean, after all, I get hit with a car, I go to the hospital. What's going to happen to me?
Wait a minute. I've got a better idea. You get a punch in the nose.
Boy, you're picking up some pip 5 years. I know we got to get some money, but why I got to get a punch in the nose
Tell you
again?
what we do. The first couple comes along here, you say that the woman has a very funny hat on. Make fun of it. The husband will punch you in the nose.
Don't look now.
Wait a minute. We'll take him to court. Wait a minute. Here. Go ahead. Make fun of the hat.
Oh, this is on the level. Get a gander of this hat. What time do you take off, lady? Get a load of this thing, Abbott. Yikes! Hey, Abbott, look at this. Hey, mister, I see some crummy hats on ladies, but this is the crummiest hat I ever saw on anybody. What did you say? I said that's a crummy hat. Thanks, pal. I told you it was a lousy hat. What? I don't think that worked, did it?
Why didn't you get a punch in the nose? I ought to do it myself. We've got to get you a punch in the nose now. We've got to get...
Camera number 3. Camera number 3.
Quiet.
Camera number 3. Great.
All right. Come down, Lou. The next couple to come out, you tell the woman that you saw her husband kiss another woman. That'll do it.
I saw the man she's with kiss another woman.
That'll get you a punch in the nose.
I gotta get
Stool
a punch
pigeon.
in the nose.
Oh, we'll sue him for plenty.
Hey, Shorty. My mother's gonna like this part. Hey, Shorty. Hey, lady. I saw that man kiss another woman.
That was his wife. Oh, please don't tell her about us. Please don't. Whatever you do.
I swear I saw that kid wrestle at the Legion Stadium.
Now, wait a minute. Oh, wait a minute. I've got it.
I don't think your ideas are working at all. I don't think your ideas are working at all.
This is a better one.
I just soon panhandle for a couple of
Wait a
bucks.
minute. The next guy comes along. Just say that he stole something. Accuse him of stealing. He's bound to punch you in the nose. There you are.
Just a minute, buddy.
Boy, now you got it.
What's the idea you stealing that box?
I'm sorry, mister. I didn't know it was yours. Please, mister, don't call the cops. Please, mister, don't put me in jail for Christmas. I didn't mean to steal that, mister. I got a wife and about 4 kids home. Miss Chapman got any
Why, look at that innocent little face.
Why, you big hook, I ought to break every bone in your body.
Tell him where you got the box.
He gave it to me.
Yeah,
I'll give you a Christmas present.
The routine most commonly associated with Abbott and Costello, of course, is Who's On First. It's a perfect demonstration of their skill and talent. Here is the complete, unedited version of Who's On First, as performed live on stage before a military audience.
I understand it. All the boys that's over there, they're going to have a big baseball team, and I understand you're going to be the manager.
That's right.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Well, if you're going to be the manager of this baseball team, I would like to join myself.
That's all right.
I would like to know some of the guys' names on the team, so when I meet them on the street or in a ballpark, I'll be able to say hello to them.
Well, naturally, I'll introduce you to the boys and a regular bunch of boys we've got. But you know, strange as it may seem, they give these ball players very peculiar names.
You mean funny names?
Strange names like Dizzy Dean and
Daffy.
Daffy Dean.
I'm their cousin.
Who are you?
Goofy.
Goofy. Well, let's see. We have who's on first, what's on second, I don't know's on third.
That's what I want to find out.
And then I say who's on first, what's on second, I don't know's on third.
Yeah, you know the fellow's names?
Yes.
Well, who's on first?
Yes.
I mean the fellow's name.
Yes.
I mean the guy playing first.
Who?
The fellow playing first.
Who?
The first baseman.
Who?
The guy playing first.
Who is on first?
Well, what are you asking me for?
I'm not asking you, I'm telling you. Who is on first?
I'm asking you who's on first.
That's the man's name.
Well, go ahead and tell me.
That's the man's name.
That's whose name?
Yes.
Well, go ahead and tell me.
Who?
The guy on first base.
Who?
The fellow playing first.
Look, who is on
Have
first?
you got a first baseman?
Yes.
Who's playing there?
Yes.
All I'm trying to find out is what's the guy's name on first base?
No, wait a minute. Don't mix them up. What is on second?
Who's on second?
No, who is on first?
I don't know.
He's on third now. We're not talking about him.
How did I get on third base?
You just mentioned his name.
If I mention the third baseman's name, who did I say playing third?
No, who's playing first?
Never mind first. I don't know. What's the guy's name on third base?
What's on second?
Who's on second?
Who's on first?
I don't know.
Third base.
And you got a third baseman?
Certainly.
Then who's playing third?
Who is playing first?
What's playing first?
Then what's on second?
I don't know.
He's
Third
on
base.
Third base.
You got an outfield?
Well, surely.
Now let's feel his name.
Why?
I don't know. I just thought I'd ask.
I just thought I'd tell you.
So tell me who's playing left field?
No, who's playing first?
What's playing first?
What's on second?
I don't know.
Third base, yes.
And you got a catcher?
Well, naturally.
The catcher's name?
Today.
And tomorrow's pitcher?
Now you've got it.
That's all. We got a couple of days on the team.
Well, I can't help that.
You know, I used to be a catcher, too. I'll get behind the plate, do some fancy catching.
Yes.
Tomorrow's pitching on my team, and the heavy hitter gets up,
Yeah.
Joseph Valentine, the heavy hitter. Now, Valentine gets up, and he bunts the ball. Now, when he bunts the ball, me being a good catcher, I'm going to throw Valentine out of first base, so I pick up the ball and throw it to who?
Now, that's the first thing you said right.
I don't even know what I'm talking about.
That's all you have to do.
All I know is I throw the ball to first base. Now, whoever it is drops the ball, so Valentine runs to second.
Yes.
Now, I pick up the ball, and I throw it to who? Whoever it is drops the ball, he throws it to what? What throws it? I don't know. I don't know. Throws it back to tomorrow. That's triple play.
That's right.
Another guy gets up, and it's a long fly ball to be caught. Why? I don't know. He's on third, and I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn.
Oh, that's a shortstop.
Here's a surefire recipe for comedy. Take the controlled chaos of the Marx Brothers, add a pinch of the Three Stooges slapstick, a dab of Abbott and Costello burlesque, touch of Laurel and Hardy pathos, serve piping hot on live television, and the name of this dish, of course, is Martin and Lewis.
Hey, they can't start the fire. They can't start the fire. They have no match. They have no matches.
I got a match.
You know, Martin and Lewis made such a brief appearance, we ought to get them back for a foul. Please, Martin and Jerry Lewis. Thank you very, very much, Jerry.
Thank you, Jack. I'm very happy to be able to be here today.
Although Martin and Lewis had made a name for themselves in nightclubs and had just started making films, it was television that best suited their talents. With television came the exposure to millions of young fans who saw them for the first time. The uninhibited, raucous style of their nightclub act was perfect for live TV.
Wait, no, I really mean it. No, I really do. Put your fist on top of your hand. Go ahead. Now, what's W-I-N-G? Oh, that was a good one.
Jerry, would you mind very much sort of conducting the choir for me on this number?
Oh, he's gonna have a fit. You chose me above all them?
I like that a lot. A choir number?
Yeah, I'll announce it and you get the doors all set.
Oh, I certainly will. Oh, I'm so unworthy of you.
Sick man. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a little number titled, once in a while, that great picture, The Cruel Sea. So, if you're ready...
They were just warming up their alarm ring.
Here we go. Do good and you'll get a bar mitzvah tomorrow.
That's silly. For heaven's sake, you're doing a song. Get your pizzas here.
Jerry's ability to run wild and destroy the most well-planned sketch or song delighted young viewers particularly. They took the team to heart.
I just want to tell you something right now. I'm going back. I'm going to get dressed for my song.
All
you
right.
introduce the song and hurry up.
I'll hurry.
But you always stall when you do this.
No, I
Give me
won't
the rope.
stall.
Give me the rope.
What is it with the rope? What do you got
Look,
a rope?
I'm going back and I'm going to get ready for the song. Now,
What is the rope for?
when I'm dressed and the set is ready, I'll give a jerk like this. And that means introduce my song.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
But I think it's silly.
It's not to go ahead, Stella.
All
You
right.
introduce.
Such a silly thing with a rope. Well, all I can say is that we're very happy to be back on television, and we want to say that we have a wonderful show that we feel is probably one of the slowest moving things you've ever seen. Here, stop this laughing because you'll cover my intelligent words. I'm not well at all, but I would like to tell you a very funny joke that I started. I told this joke about 3 years ago, and it's terrific. It's about two guys, see, and the first guy says to... Oh, they're ready to do the number? All right, right after this joke. It'll only take a second. These two guys say to this, one guy looks at the other and he says, look, no, right, all right, it's a quick joke. Take a second. The one guy says to the other, all right, 1 second, I gotta tell a joke. This one guy says to the other, well, how'd you been? I said, all right, I don't know.
Martin and Lewis became television's first hit comedy team and demonstrated the power of this new medium, along with the power of the young people who are watching it.
Oh, my name is Marvin M. Murphy.
What's the M for?
Marvin?
Marvin Mertz?
That's my name, sir.
Well, how come two Marvin? How'd you come to this?
Well, you see, sir, when I was a child, I was very, very difficult. My mother used to have to yell for supper, that is.
Yeah.
Marvin! Marvin!
Oh!
Marvin!
What'd you rather be called, Marvin Or Marvin?
My friends call me Sydney.
Sydney, huh? Sure. Well, look, Sid, can you swim? Can I swim? Back away, buddy. I get on that board, and I dive. And then the backstroke, and the flat reel, and then I get up on the biggest board I can get, and I take a bust of crab. And a backswing, and I flutter and float, and I slide along the water. He wants to know, can I swim? Can you?
No, I can't.
Well, look, now, here we are the way. Do you see what they're doing?
Yeah, maybe we can get a game.
No! They're not allowed to play. Look, no ball play. Oh, now go over and you stop them. You're the lifeguard. Stop him from playing. That's part of my job. It's your whole job, Julius. Yeah, but he's pretty big fellow. Makes no difference. Cut him down to your size. Go ahead.
We're not allowed to play ball here.
No, let him hear you. Come on. No ball, please. Don't be afraid. Go over. Be stern.
All right, buddy. We're not allowed to play ball on a beach. All right, stop with the playing ball on the beach.
He's nasty.
All right, let's have the ball right here, buddy. Let's have that ball. Let's have the ball hit. All right, let's have the ball, buddy.
Marvin.
Let's get the ball. Give me the ball. Give me the ball.
Somebody's throwing sand at me.
Somebody's throwing sand at
Get
us?
the ball, Marvin.
Give me the ball, buddy. I ain't get... Let's have that. Give me the ball.
Will you come here just a second? Now, look, I just want to tell you. Let me tell you something. Look, hold it. Well, excuse me, sir, but you're not allowed to play ball on the beach.
Oh, you mean I'm not allowed to play ball on the beach?
No.
Oh, it's against the law?
Yes.
Well, do you mind if I play on the other side?
No, go right ahead.
Thank you. Okay, Louie, here it is.
See? Now, look.
What is he, one of your Italian friends?
No. Now, you listen to me. We didn't rehearse that. Here's what I want you to do.
Yeah?
Ooh. I want you to go home. Why? Because you saw a beautiful girl? I can see her as well as you saw her. I'm a lifeguard, and I'm entitled to look upon her as well as you. Go get some lunch.
Oh, yes, my dad baked the lunch, and he made all these beautiful goodies. I'll get it.
Okay. Hello, baby.
Hiya, handsome.
I was just, I'd better break this up before he loses his appetite. I see,
Well, the goodies are ready. Let's have lunch, sir. What do you say?
Don't you know the three is a crowd? You're right. Get lost, baby. Get going. Go on, get out of here. Of all the idiotic things I've ever... What is this?
Well, there wasn't enough for her, you and I.
It's just you and I, and we'll have a splendid rendezvous together.
That doesn't look like it's going to hold enough for two people. Oh, I beg your pardon, sir. We have some of the most wonderful food you've ever seen. And my daddy packs everything for me.
He
And
does?
makes everything for me. He's my daddy. We
Good.
have one. He's been working and slaving to make delicious food for my picnic. He's a
Great.
wonderful man.
Daddy's been cooking for me ever since they took Mother away.
These are the jokes, let's face it. Goodies that Daddy made. Look at these, aren't they delicious?
Nutritious bananas. They're good for you. Very good. And we're going to have a wonderful time here, just you and I. Look at all this wonderful food that Daddy made. We have a lot of wonderful goodies, a lot of terrific things Daddy prepared for us. Look at all the for a salad, and we have enough here for salad, grapefruit juice, juice, juice. Come back, friend. You, and me, and you. Juice.
Oh, we have wonderful goodies. Oh, mayonnaise, that's good for the salad. La, 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 la. La, la, everything, sir. We have...
Hold it still.
We have... Daddy thinks of everything, sir.
And we're gonna have a wonderful time. There must be some other stuff.
Dad, you didn't have to come along.
There's a story about a great actor who, on his deathbed, was asked for some final words of wisdom. He reportedly said, "Dying is easy. Comedy is hard. And harder still is being a successful comedy team. Not only do you have to keep the audiences laughing, but you have to get along with your partners. These comedy teams, duos, threesomes, gangs, brothers, husband and wife, teamed up for one purpose, to make us laugh."
Sky. I ain't had no loving since January, April, June or July. Snow time, ta'in't no time to stay outdoors and spoon. Shine on harvest moon for me and my girl.
Time the train leaves for Paris. Let no one pass through that gate, no matter what happens.
Yes, sir.